A horror Spider-Man fan film called The Spider released 10 days ago.
This is your warning. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. This is your warning. Like and subscribe.
A 9-minute fan film, short film, and it was incredible. It starred Chandler Riggs, our one-eyed friend from The Walking Dead.
You know, we'll see Sophia again in heaven someday. She's in a better place.
No, she's not.
And this movie does what Marvel hasn't been able to do in 5 years or so, maybe even more. It developed a story, a captivating story, mind that you could watch and time just went by in a blur.
Bro, are you high? Why we going so fucking fast, nigga? Yeah, what?
9 minutes felt like 2 minutes. I don't know if I felt that way about a Marvel movie in so long. I mean, the last Marvel movie I watched was, Madam Web. And that honestly changed my perspective on the movie scale. Like, I was actually harsh. I gave it a 3 out of 10, and that might be even generous. Old me would have given it a 6 out of 10, but because I'm a nice reviewer. The movie was so bad, it changed my scale. It changed my movie scale. It changed my perspective. Dude, that was just a rant on Madam Web. But it wasn't even a funny bad movie, man. That's what pissed me off even more. Alright, let's get back to the Spider. Essentially what the Spider is what if Spider-Man actually turned into a spider? And in 9 minutes, we go from Peter Parker, who is Chandler Riggs, getting bit by a radioactive spider, and his evolution toward being a spider. And it is like such a dark turn of events compared to what we know from The Amazing Spider-Man, or, I mean, that had its, quite a few times where that went a little dark too. R.I.P. Gwen. But regardless, this is much darker in the story it tells you, and you can tell by the camera directing and the darker toned lights that were used as well. You could really tell what was going on and the horror vibes that were going on. I'm trying to think of another word. A big word, big power word, but I can't. My brain can't calculate and compensate.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
It has the horror tone, it has the horror lights, it has the horror aura to it. And you start with him, like I said, radioactive bug bites him. He has his little roof scene where he's jumping on the roof. He's like, oh my god, this is cool. I got 6 superpowers. And then comes like the dark twist of him kind of just falling ill, trying to like transforming into a spider. And the effects, even in this short film, right, where the budget isn't gonna be quite high, the effects used, the sickness pouring out of him, he's like drooling and it's like vomit kind of just outside his mouth and stuff like that. It looks disgusting, but it's so good. It was represented so well. And you're watching it and you're like, oh my god, that's horrible. And then it continues. He goes home, like his skin's peeling, you see him like bleeding, all this stuff. And then Uncle Ben, this man has the same fate over and over again. But he's like, Peter, are you good, my guy? Are you good, my guy? Keep in mind, Peter's not good at all. Comes into a room and Peter eats him. Peter eats him. He's finally turning into a spider and gets him into his cobwebs, and his entire room is essentially just cobwebs, and he brings in his prey, right? Uncle Ben. But the tone and the build up to it was so well put together, and I also think it's fair to say Aunt May was also to say the least from what we saw. But it was such a cool direction, cool what if story, and it's because of the tone it set and the way it was trying to be different. It's something Marvel hasn't been able to do. This movie was creative. Marvel hasn't been creative, right? This is the simplest I can put it. It has not been creative whatsoever. Marvel kind of takes a story and force feeds you every information that there is to it. And another thing with Marvel movies as well, it's always concerned about the multiverse and how it connects to everything in that sense. And I believe that's just ruining Marvel movies in general. Have standalone films. Make something be unique on its own. Don't force us to see something, man. It's like forcing me to eat durian. Durian is awful. stinky, tastes bad, you bite into it and you just, no, bad day for everyone. But that's what Marvel's trying to do. They're trying to force feed us durian, man, and it's not working. It really isn't working. They need to be creative, put their own twist on things. They need to stop just pushing all these visual effects, focus on the story. And this is what The Spider does. In the 9 minutes, the story was told so well, the pacing was done so well. Maybe the camera angles could have been better, but this is a low budget, right? You can tell at some parts where the low budget was, but it doesn't matter. It adds to the story, it adds to the aura that the short film has, and it did a good job from start to finish. And in the finish as well, there was a post-credit scene as well, and you could see what Chandler Riggs' Peter Parker actually turned into. Like, you could see the Spider, and it was grotesque. It was disgusting. It's what made it awesome, right? The disgusting, the horror, everything, the dark toned movie, short film. This is what made this movie or short film, I keep saying movie, but short film, good. And Marvel should look at this and be like, maybe we should stop trying to be funny with all these ball jokes and actually go for a standalone movie which has its darker tone. It can be a little like twisted in terms of, you know, visual effects. It can be a little gory. It won't be afraid to go that route. To me, that's what the old superhero movies did great. I mean, to me, the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, sure, if you look at the camera angle and stuff like that now, it might not visually be on par with what's being brought now, but it had a darker tone, right? The Dark Knight, it had a darker tone, and that's what made, for instance, I'm riding Batman a little bit here, but the Batman that released 2022, I believe, that's why this movie was great. The whole atmosphere, Gotham, it took that dark Gotham environment and they put it all into the movie. The environment was built so great in that movie, and that's what made it great, man. It's what made it good. It wasn't afraid not to be a happy dandy movie, right? That a lot of these movies are trying to be like Thor, Love and Thunder. It was trying to be that way, and I'm sorry, it didn't work. It didn't work. Madam Web, not good movie. I don't even know what it was trying to do. I tried watching Morbius. I couldn't complete it. I couldn't complete it. I think Marvel has to shift to like an actual story for each of their characters that they're trying to develop. Have a standalone film, forget about the multiverse, and do what this movie did. Do what The Spider did. I really enjoyed The Spider. I really did. If you haven't watched it, go ahead, watch it, because it is a very good short movie. And I'm telling you, it's not like Madam Web, where an hour and 30 minutes turns into 5 hours. It literally feels like 2 minutes have passed by and you're just enjoying the film as a whole. God, Madam Web was so bad. So bad. Speaking of movies I still haven't finished, I still gotta finish Twilight, man. I couldn't. It was an hour in and I couldn't finish it. I truly couldn't finish it. But yeah, I wanted to talk about The Spider. Go watch it. Phenomenal. 9 minutes of greatness. That's the app of the day. I appreciate all of you. Peace.